Hi everyone, it's Amy from 57 and Laid Off. I said I was going to try and do Mondays and Fridays, so here I am. No idea. Um, I have a friend of mine. I guess I'll start with this. First, I want to say thank you for coming to my page, watching my videos. If you're a subscriber, thank you for subscribing. If you aren't, please consider subscribing. Like, comment, share. All right. I was reaching out to one of my ex-co-workers, which is a friend of mine. Me and her, they used to call us the twins when we worked in quality together. I guess I should give you kind of a little history of what I did do at Boeing. I started out as a mechanic, and I did that for like 4 years. Then I went to quality, and I did that for about six and a half years. Then I went and they were doing a big layoff, and right before the layoff, or during, should I say, the layoff, one of my head managers, he's like a third level manager, had a round table with us, and he made sure that I got in this thing, and I'm not going to remember what they called it, but it's where you kind of float to different areas. You get your same pay, but you get to learn a new position, and it's usually a step up, or 2 steps, maybe 3 steps up, whichever the case may be. And if I remember, I'll tell you what they called it. But so I got put in that. He put me in that, and it was for ME Planner, which I wanted, but I knew that was a layoff area. I knew that if we did a layoff, that would be one that would have the biggest chance of layoffs, because of previous experience with seeing them start there with laying off. So, but I went there and I loved it. I'd wanted to get in there, like I said, but I knew it was a layoff area, and being a single parent, I needed to keep my job. So if that meant staying and not going to an area that I wanted to, then I was willing to do that and not go there. But it was just temporary. So I went there while they were making up their mind with what they were going to do. And he told us, make sure we apply for any positions we see that we wanted. I loved doing ME Planner. They wanted me to stay, but they weren't hiring, because they were getting ready, they were in the process of doing, well, actually, let me back up. They wasn't doing a layoff. They was downsizing quality is what they were doing. But they weren't hiring in the ME Planner role, but they told me they would keep my name, blah, blah, blah. And then a opportunity come up to go to another plant, Boeing plant, and work as a fabricator. That's where what my job was, putting bunks together, which is the areas that the either the pilot or the stewardess would sleep in or rest in. And so I gave up, or I moved out of the position that I was in with working with ME Planner, even though they extended me. But I said this wasn't a definite, but that was, so I went to that. You always want the definite job. So I went to that, and I did that for almost 4 years. And then I got the job as an ME Planner. And it was because of my experience, in the temporary role. And of course, when they did a layoff, I got chopped. 17 and a half years, a little over 17 and a half years with the company. But, I loved it. And if I'm being honest, I would, like I said, I was talking with my friend today, and she came to, unfortunately, I lost my granddaughter a month ago yesterday. She was 3 months and 1 week old. And I'm gonna try and not cry, but my friend came to the funeral, and we talked, and she said she still works at Boeing, and she works where I did the fabrication at. And she said, I told her I need me a job, because my job was babysitting my granddaughter. And I loved it. I mean, I do the feeding the elders, but I can watch her and do that too. And so when she was gone, and I thank God had it happen the way it did so I could spend as much time with her. Had I been working, I wouldn't have saw her nearly as much. I wouldn't have kept her as much. And God did everything. He sets everything in order, and he did that. And but anyway, my friend is trying to get me on there, and I just applied for a role as an ME planner today. Mind you, I was having some issues before I left, which I think kind of helped put me on the chopping block. I was diagnosed with a meningioma on the lining of my brain, and the way it was found is I was having issues with memory. I was having issues with being totally exhausted, with my sight, with my smell, my taste, my hearing. You know, it was affecting everything. And when they found it, even though where this is at, it causes all those issues, the neurologist said this is not what's causing your problems. I'm like, but that thing causes everything that I'm having. It causes it. And he said that's not it. They want to watch it and watch it grow and wait till it gets big enough to give me issues to take it out. And I was like, that really, it doesn't make sense to me to watch something that can potentially be devastating grow and wait till I'm maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 years down the road when I'm old, to take it out. Then it'll be, oh, she's too fragile. If we do this, she won't make it through it. So my family would get to watch me suffer. I really don't understand it. So I did go the other day to another neurologist who is, I get yearly MRIs. And I do a mission trip every year in September with my church to South Dakota. And last year when we went, I was in an accident. We were T-boned. We were going about 68, 72, something like that, miles an hour down the road, and a car rammed into the side of us. Thank the Lord. You know, we all got there wasn't no blood. I'm surprised. There wasn't even a glass broke in either car. They were tore up, but there wasn't a glass broke, and which is astounding to me. But we went and I had a CAT scan, and mine's small enough that a CAT scan has never picked it up, but they say they saw it on the CAT scan. And I said, there's no way. If it is, then it's got a lot bigger in order for them to pick it up. And with meningiomas, if you look it up, accidents are not good. Even the smallest accident can cause it to bleed and or grow extremely fast. So I reached out to my neurologist. I sent them the paperwork from the scan, which was a CAT scan. And when I called, I kept calling and I kept calling. And finally, when they called me back to say what the doctor said, the lady goes, well, the nurse said, well, the doctor said there's no changes in this MRI from the last MRI. And, you know, at that point I was frustrated. So I said, okay, and I hung up the phone. But it wasn't an MRI, it was a CAT scan. So I've sit here and I've not done anything. My normal scan was supposed to be done February, but I guess they're thinking because I did a CAT scan in September, I'm not scheduled to September, or MRI in September, that I'm not scheduled this year to September. But the thing is it was a CAT scan, not an MRI, and they should know that. I mean, so I went to another doctor and we're scheduled. I'm waiting for them to call. Matter of fact, I was supposed to call today and see about scheduling it, because they didn't call me. I'll call tomorrow so we can get another MRI. Well, an MRI that I should have had in February done. I don't know why I went off on that. Oh, yeah. Sorry, and you'll see a lot of this. I am ADHD also, but yeah, my mind bounces. But yeah, so I'm waiting for that, and I can't wait to get that scan done, and see how that turns out. But anyway, I just, like I said, I wanted to hop on because I told y'all I would do my best to do this, and it's been on my mind all day. So I said, throw the hair up, do something to it, so it don't look as bad as it did, and just get on there and do it. So that's what I'm doing. It's not gonna always be videos of me just sitting here like this. It'll be updates of my health. It'll be, I mean, all kind of things. It might be me visiting my granddaughter's grave. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna, maybe walk around my yard. I don't know. I'll whatever it is, I'll title it such so y'all will know. But yeah, I did apply for ME planner position at Bowen again to go back, and I said I would not go back, but I kind of miss it. I especially miss a lot of people. I miss the work. I loved the work. It was, I just had a few issues with my last position, and it wasn't the job. It was just, you know, sometimes people can be rude. Sometimes people can be mean for no reason whatsoever. I mean, I always try. My mom always told us, you know, we were raised in the church, and they always told us, they always give us biblical advice. Mom always said, treat others the way you wish to be treated. And then she'd add a little caveat to that, and that she would say, but don't expect them to do the same. Meaning not everybody is raised the same, not everybody thinks the same, not everybody feels the same. But don't let that be an excuse for you not to do what you were raised to do, which is to treat people with respect. And so I always do my best to do that. If I get into a situation where I feel stressed, or I feel like I'm gonna not be who I should be or want to be or need to be, then I will excuse myself, you know, rather than be rude. I posted on my other page, I posted a video of my granddaughter, because I used to take all the videos and pictures, you know, because I had her Monday through Friday. And I posted a video of her, the one that I just said passed away. I called her Little Rose. And someone got on there because she was breastfed, so her tongue would get caked with milk, because breast milk is at least my daughter's is real, like, oily. It's rich. It's, you know, it's the best thing for a baby. So her tongue, not her mouth, she didn't have, somebody said she had thrush, but she didn't. It was just a little bit on her tongue. And it's like all they could talk about was that, instead of saying what a beautiful baby. And she was a very beautiful baby. And I'm not saying that just because I was her grandmother. She was very beautiful. And all they could talk about was the milk on her tongue. And somebody said, another one said, scrub the milk off that baby's tongue. And I said, I came back and I said, I would love to be able to scrub the milk off I said, I would love to be able to do that with my granddaughter. I said, but right now, I said, but I can't hold her, I can't kiss her, I can't touch her, and I can't scrub the milk off of her tongue because she passed away. And, you know, before you say something, maybe look at videos. I mean, kind of get a history of a person. It's like we just want to automatically be mean and be cruel. And I mean, why did we come to that point where that's our automatic go-to? I just don't understand it. And I don't want to understand it because I don't want to go there. All I'm going to do is I'm going to nicely point them in the right direction and let them know, you know, that whatever they're saying is not the case. And I didn't get any more of that. I did go back and retitle instead of saying my precious little Rose, and then I added rest in peace, because, you know, people just get something and run with it. And it's like they just want to be critical of everyone about something. And most of the time it's because there's something miserable in their lives, unfortunately. But you don't, when you lash out, you don't know what that person you're lashing out is going through too. It might be 10 times worse than what you're going through. So always think about that before you comment or before you give your opinion on something. You know, think about it. Maybe even go through a couple of videos before you, especially if you're on YouTube, before you get critical of someone. So I don't know where all that came from, but I just want to end it with, I love each and every one of you, and remember to always tell the ones you love that you love them. Take that extra time with your grandchildren, your children, your great-grandchildren, whoever it may be, your spouse. Take extra time, because we none know when our time will come and we won't be here anymore, we won't have that person anymore. So take that extra time to show them you love them and tell them you love them. And be kind to everyone. We don't know what each other's going through. And, you know, if you see somebody struggling, be nice to them. Say something nice. Do something nice for them. I love you guys. Have a blessed day. And I'll see you again on Friday. Later.